Welcome to Manage Comics Thoughtstream for Thursday, September the 1st, 2022. I'm Brian Garside, and your host as always, and I am here to talk help. So, we have significantly updated our help section, and I thought I'd go through a few of the things that we've done and kind of let you know a little bit about those things. As always, we'll take your questions if you have any questions to ask us. And I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. So, of course, our housekeeping stuff that we always do, make sure you like and subscribe to us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all of the socials. This week's shop of the week is Challengers Comics and Conversation, coming out of Chicago, Illinois. They have an amazing podcast called The Contested Challengers. They're often speaking, extolling the virtues of Managed Comics on there. Sometimes giving us a little well-deserved criticism, and I'm okay with that. For sure, check out Challengers Comics and Conversation, and on all of our socials, you'll find their various social media links. So Instagram, we link back to their Instagram, Facebook to their Facebook, and Twitter to their Twitter. They're doing some great stuff on social media, including why don't I just go on over there for a second and we'll take a look. If we go into, sorry, I just gotta move my screens around a little bit. I'll take you over here, and you over here. So yeah, if I click on their social media, they're doing kind of weekly videos as well about the things that they think you should be interested in. And I love that. I love the fact that they're talking about stuff that's interesting and that they're passionate about. And I think everyone should do that because it's it's a good way to get, one, your story's unique personality out there, and two, it's all about selling stuff. So this is a great way of doing it. But let's dive right into the meat of this week's episode. Ivan and I have been hard at work this week updating all of our help stuff. So we dove in there and updated a whole bunch of stuff. I went into all of our workflows and I added a little video to almost all of them. I still got a couple left to do. I need to do the FOC and the Lunar upload, and then the Shopify update new releases collection. That one I was having a real problem actually doing on my own. So, but everything else has got a video. So basically what we've done is we went in and kind of cleaned up and fixed screenshots. We went in and we've added things where basically cross-linking back and forth between the different help things. So, for example, this talks about also adding a customer to Manage Comics and then editing a customer's subscriptions. So you'll get kind of the whole workflow. And if we go into the actual workflows, each one of these kind of goes deep, and you can see they've all been updated today or yesterday. The ones that I didn't get to add videos to were updated yesterday. All the ones with videos have been updated today. While I was in here, I was also kind of going through some of the older stuff that we've done, and I noticed that our intake process, this one is really good. This has got like a 9-minute long video, and it both goes through the individual intake, so doing just 1 or 2 products in a week, as well as kind of the bigger weekly intake. And all these screen grabs are relatively recent. The interface looks a little bit different in terms of header and stuff, but the actual chewy middle of it all looks exactly the same. So we didn't change a bunch of those things. At the bottom, you'll always find related articles, such as where do I get invoices for importing. We also include that actually in the step 1 of this process. So yeah, that's been updated as well. The intake process and the workflows for different things. So I thought I would just highlight a few of the things that we've updated. and kind of go through some of the tricks, I guess, and tips for certain things. So a good example is adding a customer to Manage Comics. When I went through and did this time, I noticed that Shopify seems to have added a little bit of a delay between when a customer is created and when you can access them in Manage Comics. So what I assume is happening is they've probably scaled their database quite a bit in the last year or so. So I think what's happening is like it takes about 30 seconds, give or take, for that customer to be available, even in Shopify. So if you create a customer and then immediately search for that customer, you won't find them right away. You'll see them in your list, but they won't show up in search things because I think that is just taking some time to propagate. So if you wait about 30 seconds and then you go into the Manage Comics app, if you're in here and you search for somebody, my recommendation is to like count to 10 3 times, then hold your shift key and hit refresh, and then click on all customers again. And every time I did that, I found the customer. So 30 seconds after I had created them, they're available. And then everything else is pretty standard. Go through, add subscriptions to a customer. At that point, you can clone customers into other subscriptions and all that stuff as well. So that's my tip for just anything with creating a customer. In terms of editing subscriptions, there's not, it's pretty straightforward. You go in and add or delete subscriptions out of a customer. Just always remember that when you add something in the admin, it basically adds that item as of now. So if you want to add it as of the future, you're going to need to set a start date for it. If you want to delete something, when you click delete, you're deleting it now. If you want to set it in the future, then you would actually click on edit that issue, and you'll say that the final poll is as of this specific issue coming up. So what that will do is keep it until the next issue comes out. And we do that because, as the store owners, you guys should have a lot more power than a customer who needs to abide by FOC dates. You have a lot more information at your fingertips in terms of what is available and what isn't. Moving on, approving pre-orders. I think this is a fairly straightforward process, and we haven't had too many questions about it. We did kind of go through and just kind of review it for ourselves internally to make sure it still makes sense, and I think it makes a ton of sense. I love the fact that you can individually approve things or bulk approve things or bulk decline things right here. I think there's a couple little things that we're going to do to this screen. I'd like to add quantity in front of title, and I'd also like to add the FOC date to the products so that you have a little bit better idea of when the FOC is and if something is past an FOC that's on there, because it could potentially be something that was added on Friday and you're looking at it on Monday and it's past FOC. So you need to be informed of that. You'll find that if you edit it and go into the actual product. So when we look at this, the on sale date and the FOC dates are actually on the product when you are into it. It's just that kind of summary screen that it's missing. Moving along to the weekly midweek shipment file. So yeah, we updated the video on this page, and then there wasn't a lot that needed to be done in terms of the actual step by step. I think this is a really good one. It really kind of does a great job of walking you through exactly how you can add things. And this is one of my favorite kind of ways of bringing products in, especially if I just get a few things in the middle of the week and I need to get them in. Checking the weekly shipment. With our video, I did a Lunar Invoice, just one invoice because I wanted to kind of keep it fairly snappy. One of my goals with all these little mini videos is to keep them under 3 minutes long. This one is one of the longer ones. It's about 3:30. Most of them are in the 2-minute range. So the idea is you can get in here, take a quick look at this, figure out what you need to do, and then get out again fairly quickly. So yeah, with this one, we got your check-ins, got your uploads, making sure your items are clicked for pulling, and adding things like tags and setting the date that you want it to appear on the site, and then generating your pull list. Of course, invoicing orders, which is hugely important if you'd like to get paid a little bit sooner. So again, we updated some of these screens because we've added a little bit more kind of search ability in these screens. And then it shows you how the draft orders look on Shopify itself, and then how it looks for your customer in the front end. Again, this video, I think this one's just under 2 minutes long, goes through all those steps. Sending subscriber emails. So this is about a 2-minute long video. Sending your subscriber emails is something that you should do every week, and it will also kind of go through we go through kind of how all that works and what you have to do in order to make it work. I think I would like to replace some of these with some variables so that you can just change the start dates, and then these little guys here will change with variables. So your pulls for, and then it'd be like dates in kind of square brackets, and then this will be the following items pulled for you between dates, and that's something that we'll work on over the next couple of months, because I think it's a relatively simple change. And what this would do is let you kind of clone some more stuff in the future. Yeah, I didn't get around to updating the new releases collection because for some reason my test store won't let me create new releases section. It keeps on showing like blank things, so I've obviously done something wrong with my test store, which I'm gonna have to look into. I've not updated the edit place FOC, but I think what we're going to be doing, yeah, okay, here we go. So this is, yeah, we updated this screen here, and these screens here are the Diamond and Lunar ones. Right now, there is not a Penguin Random House FOC. We were talking to Penguin Random House last Thursday, and this is still a couple months away before they'll get the ability to do uploads for FOCs. I did the Diamond initial order monthly FOC. I seem to have lost my video. There's a video here for the monthly task, which I'll bet you I just need to publish it then if that's the case. It's probably been saved but not published. But yeah, we've done this one. It's about a 3-minute long process. And then the last one was creating a monthly previews email. So basically, we created a new campaign, put in previews, and then we show you how to link through into your Manage Comics. And you can even kind of do some deep links into different specific, areas. So into the DC Comics, the Marvel Comics, Image Comics. And then you could even have individual recommendations for items that you want people to see. And then this is always a good one that you can clone in the future, because you just have to change a couple of parameters in your monthlies in order to change which things were showing up. And yeah, that one's a good one. And so the video goes through creating one and then cloning them in the future. I think that takes us through all the workflows. In terms of the actual day-to-day, I know that we've updated the intake process one. This is a 9-minute video, and this walks through everything from single intakes all the way through to your full biweekly intake. This one's really in depth and is a lot more than just the kind of overview of the other one. This is a fairly deep step by step. But then, of course, we've got all your step by step screens for doing your import. So that's pretty good. And then we updated a bunch of these. So again, the all customers is a slightly different view into the customer, the daily task creating a customer. So we've also included links into the workflows from the individual help things. So the idea is like we want you to be able to get to everything fairly quickly. So we're kind of streamlining the a lot of the kind of navigation for this stuff. The rest of it is fairly straightforward. So like I said, we've updated pretty much everything. You see the update dates on these are all August 31st. Ordering, yeah, we did some updates on the initial orders and the FOC orders. So what I noticed with initial orders is we had kind of some old screen grabs here that didn't have all the filtering. So now we have all of our filtering here, and it explains all of that. We can also see the deep link into the diamond one. Oh no, Julian says he was watching last week's video on replay. I hope I didn't send out a link to last week's video in this week's email. That would be terrible. Reporting is still kind of in the process of being updated. A lot of the stuff hasn't significantly changed. When I went through it all, it's, this is the same screen grab from months ago. So I don't know if we need to do a lot of changes to any of these because they're all pretty much identical. This subscribe product shortages could probably use a little bit of an update, just because some of the kind of stuff around it has changed a little bit, but not significantly. I mean, all this stuff I think will get the job done. And yeah, our FAQs, I don't know if we've changed a lot of stuff in these. I think the one that's changed most recently is the socket scan. I updated a couple little things in this, and we've updated some little things in the Shopify bulk edit, product info type, etc. Actually, I think this is a brand new one that Ivan created. So it just shows you how to do Shopify bulk editing. So I think that's kind of it in terms of what we've changed with the help. It's really just about cleaning things up, streamlining some stuff, and getting those workflows a little bit more polished. The other thing I'm going to do is I've been updating our guide. So I think this is it right here, the guide. So I'll be re-uploading the guide to replace the older version. And I'm going to do a second version of the guide. I'm going to do a quick start guide for people that are installing Manage Comics, and then I'm going to take the start stuff out of the overall guide, because once you've done that once, it's kind of redundant. So this way people can keep this and I don't know, maybe print it out or something and have the ongoing guide available for them. It's got deep links into all the workflows and everything as well. So if I think a video will explain things a little bit better than a couple slides, that's where you'll get that information. I think that's roughly it for this week. We've had a couple of new feature requests. I've also changed things in the roadmap, so now that it's very clear what's to vote on, and this is kind of our backlog of other things that we're just dumping stuff into. So as we get requests, we'll dump them into to-dos. As we, if you see something in the to-do that you want to vote on, by all means, get in there and vote on the products, or on the um, features, on the features. So go ahead and vote on those guys, and then as they kind of hit critical mass, if it's got more than one vote, I'll move it over to vote on. But when they first come in, this will be kind of our new ingest pile. And some of these things may just get dropped out. It's funny, I was just looking at this, and this is actually something we're working on right now with BinderPause. There's some infrastructure they have to do in order for us to build this part, but it's kind of the extension of what we've done for Manage Comics with the Shopify POS, only doing the same kind of thing for BinderPause. So now that we understand the logic, it'll be easier for us to do. We just need a little bit of infrastructure from BinderPause. I'm supposed to have a chat with them, I think, next week. Exciting news with BinderPause. First of all, BinderPause was acquired by TCG Player, and then TCG Player has been now acquired by eBay. So they are doing really well and kind of making some big waves in the hobby space. So not a lot of people here today. I see Julian's here. I think Craig's probably around. If anybody's got any questions before I move along, I think I might wrap this one up early today. Here's what happens when we drop somebody, like we remove we decline a request. So Lee requested that we import Diamond direct ship CSVs. We did have to decline this because the direct ship CSV doesn't have enough information for us to actually add it into Manage Comics. We looked into the actual file and it's missing some key information. So we could probably do it, but then we'd have to require an extra step, which we just don't have built into our process right now. So we'd have to basically import the CSV, add a screen where you could add the prices and your cost on them, and then move on to tagging everything. We kind of need a price or cost in order to associate products together, just to be sure that we just require two pieces of data to associate a product. Chris says that it's not always good when a company gets acquired by a company like eBay. Yeah, I think this one's going to be okay because it's pretty evident that eBay acquired them to kind of expand their point of sale integration, and also to really kind of dive deeper into the collectibles market, specifically like CCGs and that kind of stuff. So I think this will be a pretty good. Yeah, Comixology bought the service I used to use, and then Amazon bought Comixology and killed the sorting service I was using. Yeah, I remember the. Well, to be honest, Comixology killed the sorting service before Amazon bought them. That was going to happen in any case as soon as they went into digital. Because remember, Comixology didn't start out as a digital comic thing. We started transitioning people off of Pullbox. What was it called? It was called Comixology Pull List, I think. You can actually find our. But for a long time was one of our biggest. Comixology Pull List. So we got a lot of people onto the Manage Comics 1.0 using this. Christina Strong asks, would it be possible to see UPCs when checking in comics? So Christina, what you're saying is that on the check-in screen, let me just pull up, I'll pull up a check-in screen. When you actually see the product here, you'd like to see the UPC. Yeah, I'm sure it's possible. I don't know where we would put that data without scrunching anything. The biggest problem that we always have is that there's a finite amount of real estate, and I can look into that though and see if it's possible. Again, best bet, add it to the feature request. So go to roadmap.managecomics.com and add a feature request for adding the UPCs. That's a fairly small one that if we can do it, will be something that we kind of just inject in with all of our other little projects. I've got a bunch of little things going on right now that I'm hoping to steal to Ross for a few hours and get done. That's funny. There's 3 people here, and I've had my thing showing me that there's 3 people here, and I've had 3 different questions from people, which gives me a feeling that there's probably more people. Christina says she did that a while back. Well, let me look for it. As a customer, show each upcoming. Yeah, that's weird. That I don't see it anywhere, Christina. I'll keep an eye out for it, and if you want to throw it in there again, it wouldn't hurt. If anybody else has any other questions, shoot them now, because I think we're going to wrap it up in a couple minutes. And I'm going to tease what we're doing next week. So next week, Craig and I are going to do a very special thought stream, a prime time thought stream. So we're going to do it at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm just going to say that it's going to be a super spicy challenge. So we're going to do something very spicy. It's inspired by Hot Ones, the internet show about hot wings and hot questions. We'll have a list of questions that we're going to ask each other regarding regarding marketing and comics and the future of Managed Comics. And we encourage you guys to be here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely going to be different than anything else we've ever done. And yeah, I hope to see as many people as possible. Julian, I'm so sorry you missed most of it, but it was just about the help stuff. I think you've got the help stuff pretty well in hand. You can always go back and review it all, or just go to help.managecomics.com and go through the workflows, and you'll see all of our new workflow stuff that we've added with some little videos that will help people understand how Manage Comics works a little bit better. Folks, I think that's going to wrap us up for this week. In the meantime and in between times, stay hungry and keep selling comics.